Alright, so back here on the 1978 Toyota pickup. So did all the horrible grinding on everything. This is brand new, I'll get into that, but all this stuff here showed you grinding last time. Everything on the other side here all done, even this little patch, which is pretty terrible. It's such a little spot and it's kind of in a corner, so it's hard to sand up in there, but there's just like a little bit of a gap that should fill in just fine. Some of the other spots here, again, this is not real good. I'll have to do a bit more finish sanding on that, but yeah, everything else turned out pretty good. This back panel over here sanded out fine, so yeah, mostly pretty good. Again, just for in metal so far, so everything coming together all right. So I put together this little piece of rocker right here. That was pretty easy since it's basically the same as everything. It kind of curves in a little bit when it meets up to this piece, so this was all flat and that's fine. But then the last little bit here, I left it a little bit long and then just tapped it in with a hammer. I haven't ground any of that stuff yet, but there's a bit of a taper at the very end right here before it meets to this piece. And then this one, I just was able to use another piece of rocker that I had, and then just cut this at an angle, because you see it tapers, so it's shorter here than it is on this side. And so I was able to cut this at an angle and then just used a spare piece of rocker that I had in order to get this panel piece in. So that's fine. And then over here on the front, I just got to cap this off. So made a little template out of paper, and so that'll go there like that. I cut it a bit big and everything, so this will be super fiddly to get this little piece in here to fit good. And there's also this bend in it, and so I'll get this cut out and then I'll put the bend in it, and then trying to get this lined up with this edge, and all this is extra. I'll cut all that off, but trying to get this lined up in here. I debated about just making this a hard line. The factory had this as a bit curved, so I kind of followed that same sort of curve and all these kind of curves here. I debated about just making it a sharp line in order to make it easier on myself, but for some dumbass reason I chose to put the curve back in. So alright, so I gotta get this piece cut out, and then it'll just be a whole lot of trial and error of cut it, grind a little bit, and cut and grind, grind until it fits in there nice and good. But this is the piece I gotta make right now. Alright, so that's about it there. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect initially because, you know, we can bend in these little bits here. Even this little bit of a divot here, just a little tap, and then weld, and then, you know, it has that same curve that it had from the factory. So a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but nothing terrible. All this little gap here, that'll be easy to weld. This is thicker stuff. It's 18, so you know it's not blowing through. And then this upper piece that I'm welding to here is good metal as well. So a little bit of finish welding around there, and then a bunch of grinding on this stuff, and should be just about done with this passenger side. So, and then all this excess, I mean, that's just cut all that off. So, you know, no big deal on all that. So, all right, cool. That's it. See you in the next one. Thanks.